Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to the 13th round of the Thrustmaster SimRacing ACE Championship. And 2 weeks ago we were still in Suzuka, now we are here in America, in Austin, Texas, for once again the 13th round in this championship. And what an exciting race it's going to be, especially for the championship. It's definitely not decided yet, with 2 more rounds to go, so this one is definitely the penultimate one. As I said, it's going to be close. We've got 4 drivers here who could do a lot of things in terms of championship, and it's all in terms of in terms of the championship lead as well. So it's all for that first place. But that is exciting. What is also exciting is that Q1 just got underway. We're 9 minutes, 9 minutes to go, and Rensklop is going to be the first one to set the lap time. Rensklop, talking about him, he is in second at the moment in the championship. Let's actually go through that. Daniel Kiss is leading it with 330 points. Second, as I said, is Klopp with 282 points. So he is a little bit behind, but with 2 more races to go and 100 points being left on the table if you win both races, 50 points per win. There's still a championship in the in Klopp his side, and then Ragusa in third, only 6 points behind Klopp, and Hoyer in fourth, 5 points further behind from Ragusa. So amazing. Then fifth is Masciuli, a little bit further back, but in theory even Masciuli could still be a champion with 253 points. And once again, as I said, Kiss having 330. Nonetheless, though, as I said, it's qualifying 1. We're looking at the top 10 at the moment. Obviously, the top 10 is going to advance to Q2. 8 more minutes to go, and Rensklop has started his lap. We'll see what he can do. Obviously, Rensklop has been was absent for a little while, but good to see he is back. 2 weeks ago, he obviously was there in Suzuka as well. Seems like he has found a nice swing, hopefully for this weekend as well. Looking rather stable, I was going to say, in the first sector. A bit of an oversteer moment on the exit of turn 9. This is turn 11 over here, and a very, very long straight obviously down to turn 12. This will be very interesting coming race day. Obviously, DRS zone is right here. We've got 2 DRS zones around this track. This is one of them, and Rensklop obviously using it in order to get a bit higher top speed. He maxes out at 300 and what was it? It was about I would say 320 as he slowed the car down. It was indeed 320. And then the stadium section over here, very tricky. Very interesting track in general in terms of setup. So you have that really long straight where you want to have as much top speed as possible, but definitely down that stadium section you need a lot more downforce. Obviously, nicely through that. Obviously, it's like a triple apex or something, a bit similar to turns 8, 9, 10. What is it? I don't know. Around Istanbul, Turkey. Rensklop coming around the final corner, opening up the DRS for the short run to the line. He sets the first benchmark of the day in his qualifying, and the benchmark is a 135.6 in the background. Straight away we see Giuseppe Ragusa, who goes 4 tenths quicker than Klopp. It's quite impressive. So Ragusa currently in first with a 35.2, and the first couple of times are being set on the board. Obviously, Cielo D'Alessandro is looking quite strong. He comes around the final corner, opens up his DRS for the run to the line. What's he going to do? He is going to do 135.4-ish, so he puts himself in second, about 1.5 tenths behind Ragusa. So Ragusa definitely having the edge at the moment, but well, as I said, it's only well, in this Q1 session only the top 10 really matters. We've got a few penalties here. I think there were 2 back or pit lane starts. Mainly, we've got some back of the grids though for Georgius, Hoyer, Godek, Mikhail Tohovsky is there as well, who has to start from the back of the grid. We've got 19 drivers over here, but what's most important is that we have got Klopp, Ragusa and Hoyer, because they are definitely still battling. Daniel Kiss obviously leading. I mean, this guy was dominating this series before, but then pretty much, took a break from it, and we haven't seen him ever since over here. Whether he's still going to be the champion, 330 points, 282 points is what Klopp has. And 100 points being left on the table, and 2 rounds to go. I think Klopp has a good chance at getting the title here. But thing is, so does Ragusa and so does Hoyer. You know, they all have a great chance at getting the title. And what's most exciting is, well, first of all, let's hope they finish today's race. And if so, we are going to see, I think, an amazing finale at Interlagos. And because it is Ace and because there is dynamic weather, how about having a rain race at Interlagos, or at least some kind of changing conditions at Interlagos, the final round. And then we have a nice champion for this 2015 A Series. I mean, I'm already dreaming about it, but that's a bit too early. We are still in Q1, as I said before, so let's get back to it. Ragusa still leading here, nothing really has changed. Klopp in third, said though 4 tenths down. Quite a big gap between, well, what is it? Well, I think the top 2 and then the rest of the field at the moment. But those were obviously the first couple of runs. Currently in 10th place, Roberto Fernandez, 36.7. He's being followed by Ben Horrell. He sets a 37.0, so that's where the guys are going to get into the 37s. And the cut-off time, as I said, is only a 36.7, as it is a 36.4 at the moment for Timo Valkejärvi. So still a couple of guys setting some lap times. One who is yet to set the lap time as well, excuse me, is Prieto. He is in 17th at the moment. And he is on a lap indeed. Pretty good lap so far, about 4 tenths down though in the first sector on Ragusa. 4 tenths in the first sector. It's quite a lot. Does a bit of a better job in the second sector, but yet 3 tenths down on Ragusa once again. Prieto coming around the final couple of corners. What can he do? That's a little bit wide over there, but not outside of the track limits. Remember, in FSR the curbs count as part of the track as well, so you can have 2 wheels on them at all times. And here we go. Prieto, can he get himself into the top 10? Yes, he can. 136.2, but may want to improve if he wants to be a little bit safer, of course. Currently in 9th, and his position may be under attack a little bit later in the session. And he in fact already jumps to 10th place because was someone who jumped up quite a few spots. Timo Valkejärvi still in 11th though. A couple more guys finishing their lap at the moment. Who's doing good? I think Timo Valkejärvi is on a reasonable lap at the moment. A couple of green sectors for him, which means he's on for a better lap time, personal best. Losing about 4 tenths though in the middle sector to Ragusa. It's quite a lot. Maybe didn't get a good run on out of turn 11 for the very long straight, as I said before. Here we go. Timo Valkejärvi needs to get himself into the top 10. Here is wide open for him with 2 more minutes to go. What can he do? Can he get himself to the top 10? Answer is yes, a 36.0. Even up to 8th place. We'll be happy with that, because it leaves him with a little bit of breathing space. And I say a little bit of breathing space because the gap is only just over 300ths I should say, of a second to Heestebeek, who's currently in 10th place. Heestebeek was doing rather well at Suzuka, maybe struggling a little bit more over here, and as I said, is in that 10th spot at the moment. Mashuli up to 3rd, Hodes up to 4th, both have jumped Rens Klopp, who hasn't improved yet, and every single driver except for Roberto Fernandez is on their outlap. Love Spanish name. I doubt whether he is Spanish, maybe Portuguese or something like that as well. But just Roberto, you know. Anyway, he's on for an improvement. Pretty stable first sector for Fernandez, I have to say. 20.2, not too bad at all. It's about his middle sector as well. Let's see what kind of top speeds he gets here. It's about 321 kilometers an hour as he slows the car down for turn 12. Reaches out for the apex. Does so nicely. I'm currently on board with Roberto, and he completed the second sector at the moment. Gonna have a look at what it is. Not an improvement for him in the second sector though. It's gonna cost him dearly, and a little of a luck up coming into here. There's the bollard on the track as well, which has been knocked out by someone. And then this triple apex over here. This is easy peasy in qualifying trim. Race it will be a little bit harder with Warren Tyson. I heard a crash there. It wasn't Roberto though. Not a big crash, I doubt, because the guy who crashed is already back into the pit lane, I believe. Roberto though opening up his DRS. What can he do? Can he get himself into the top 10? And the answer is no. Not even an improvement, I think. No, 36.3. About half a tenth down on what he did before. He's out for sure. He cannot round to do another lap in time. So Roberto is out, that's for sure. What can Prieto do? Prieto in 11th, not a personal improvement in the first sector, but remember that Prieto was a little bit down in the second sector. What can he do this time? Can he improve into that second sector? No, he cannot. And Prieto is gonna, well, need something special here in his final sector if he wants to go through. Nice line through there, very much swinging it into there. Has a bit of oversteer moment though on the exit, the traction zone not being optimal for him. Swings it in through here as everyone pretty much do. Then his corner is pretty much blind, the penultimate one. Reaches out for the apex, does so nicely but runs a little bit wide. Doubt whether he was off the track. That's a bit of a tough one, and it goes deep into the final corner. I don't see him doing it. Red Scope in the meantime has gone up to first place with a 135.194, and Prieto's not gonna do it. Definitely not. A poor final sector there from Prieto. In the end, only like half a tenth down on what he did before, which is extraordinary because it didn't look right at all in their final sector. Alessio Campos then, another guy who can get himself up to the top 10. Chelsea Pantelis can do so as well. But I give Campos the biggest chance. No disrespect to George, of course. He's making in 10th, 136. It's the time to beat for Campos. Do it. He does improve though, but only for a 136.3. And then can George do? George jumps Ben, and George goes up to 14th place with a 136.5. So able to improve, but in the end the top 10 was pretty much unchanged there. Got a few guys still running. One of them is actually Heestebeek, who's gone purple in the first sector, and Heestebeek jumps up to 6th place. Great first sector from Heestebeek, 2/10 quicker than D'Alessandro, who did a 134.9 in the end, topping Rens Club. And an exciting first qualifying session has ended. Are there any surprises? Prieto perhaps not in. Campos in 13th. That's pretty much it. Those guys not really able to take advantage of the penalties we see here today, and that's basically Q1. As our race director Bladisley asks, are there any cuts? So it's not the final results yet. If someone says I cut it, then another guy will get in. In this case, it will be Prieto, who is then going to take over that spot. And nope, all seems safe and sound, or someone is a little bit shy and doesn't want to acknowledge that he cut it. Nonetheless though, doesn't matter. We've got the top 10 as it is right here going into. I hope you guys are having a good time watching this. As I said, this is the 13th round of the ACE Championship. If you just tuned in, we are going into Q2. And what I love about ACE is that it didn't have the kind of restructural which WC did have in terms of qualifying. Usually in WC we have a different format with the qualifying being 10 minutes long. In ACE it's old school, which means one lap to get it right, and honestly I love that part. I'm a big fan of that. It's one lap for these drivers to get it right, and that's it. You know, it's the hard truth. To definitely keep your nerves down. Keep your head at it. And we're on the way for Q2 then. So once again, the drivers to look out for: Ragusa, Klopp and Hoyer. They are in the top 10, except for Hoyer, of course, with that back of the grid. There were two guys I remember who had a pit lane start. Cannot remember it at the moment. I may look at it. I'm gonna try to find it. Sure, it would be nice to know. I'm pretty sure Paschalis has a back of the grid penalty. That's for sure. The first guy to set the lap time over here, by the way, is Martin Hodes, who had a fairly nice weekend in Suzuka. Was pretty good as well in the WC, where he finished fifth. Pretty sure it's fifth, but I had to think about it, that's for sure. Nonetheless though, we're watching Martin Hodes, not Mitchie Hoyer, and we'll see what he can do. It was nice to see him performing quite well, by the way, for the round, as I said, which is Suzuka. Let's see what he can do this time. Michel D'Alessandro follows him. That's interesting. we've got the following order: Martin Hodes, Alessandro or Michele Alessandro, then Eros Masciuli. But first it is up to Martin Hodes to set his lap time as DRS is wide open for the run down to the first corner, and brake as late as you dare and try to reach out for the apex, which Hodes did, but somehow the front end didn't really want to nail there and didn't really want to bite into the corner as he goes through the next couple of corners, which is a bit similar to Silverstone. Just swinging all over the place over there, throwing the car into there, a bit of smoke coming from the tire. That's how much pressure there is being put on those tires. Turns 8 and 9, this is an important one. Turn 9, get as early on the power as you dare, but it's really easy to get some whispin over there. It did look rather stable though for Martin Hodes over there. Turn 11 then, get a nice exit over here as it leads onto this huge back straight. Bit of oversteer though for Martin Hodes, not the ideal exit as he once again opens up the DRS. We'll see what kind of top speed he has got. Michele Alessandro in the meantime has had a 20.104 in the first sector, which is very good. 200s up on Martin Hodes in the first sector already. We'll see what he can do in the second sector though. Rens Klopp has gone well, almost purple in the first sector. It's really close between all of these guys at the moment. Michele Alessandro 2/10 quicker than Martin Hodes in the second sector. Michele is the one who could put himself up to provisional pole here if he gets a good final sector as well. We're still watching Martin Hodes though as he swings it around these couple of corners. Turns 19 over here, which is the penultimate corner. And then just one more corner to go, which is turn 20. Let's have a look at this. We've seen the driver struggling over here, and Hodes also gets a little bit of understeer over there. Cannot really get a right exit because of that as well. He was being compromised. He sets a 135.5, but watch Michele Alessandro in the background. This is going to be provisional pole with a 135.1, and then it was Eros Masciuli who sets a 135.4. Next up to cross the line is Michael Francesconi. He sets another lap at the moment. He's going to start his lap, in fact. It is Victor Ivanov who is up for purple in the first sector. And Timo Valkjärvi also starting his lap. Rens Klopp is the first one to cross the line right here. Final corner for Rens Klopp. And I don't think he's going to make it. It all depends on the final sector though. I think he's a little bit too far off. What can he do? And not only a 0.4 for Klopp. 3/10 down on Michele Alessandro. A really good lap from the Alessandro there. And well, as I said, 3/10 up on the rest of the field at the moment. Heesterbeek then, what can he do? Well, not good. Heesterbeek has made a big mistake in the middle sector. And he was 8/10 down on Alessandro. This is not going to be a good lap from Heesterbeek. Let's have a look at this. It's going to be a 35.5? How? 4/10? What? I need to explain it. I'm gonna come back to that at the end of the session, because that is amazing what Heesterbeek just did there. Running a really different setup. That's for sure. Victor Ivanov though, he's next one to cross the line. I'll come back on what's going on with Heesterbeek, by the way, later. First is Victor Ivanov, who sets a 135.8. He will be disappointed with that. Definitely 7/10 down on Michele Alessandro. What can we do? What can the drivers do, I should say? Michael Francesconi. Giuseppe Ragusa has gone purple in the first sector. Half a tenth up on Michele Alessandro. But we're waiting for Francesconi. I think Gobbi is the final one to cross the line. Pretty sure about that one. Here comes Francesconi though. He's rather close to it, but I don't think he's gonna do it. Ooh, lost a lot of time in the final sector, did Francesconi. 6/10 lost there in the final sector for him. Timo Valkjärvi then, what can he do? Lost a lot of time throughout this lap, and he's in the 36s. 36.4. 2 more people to go though. Ragusa is purple in both sectors, but well, what can he do? Gobbi is reasonably up to pace at the moment, but Ragusa is the one who could spoil Michele Alessandro's party. And you know what? He has a really good chance of doing it so as well. But does he do it? And the answer is no. A fantastic final sector from Michele Alessandro prevents Ragusa from getting pole position. And then, as I said, the final one to cross the line is Fabrizio Gobbi. 20.2, 39.6 are his sector times. About 3 to 4 tenths down at the moment on Michele Alessandro. Was rather quick in the final sector as well. What does he do? He sets a 35.8. And so that is the top 10 done for you. Gobbi in 8th with a 135.9. But pole position, taking it here, is Michele Alessandro. And being 800ths of a second ahead of Ragusa. And Klopp in 3rd. 3 tenths down. Same for Masciuli. 3 tenths down. Hodes in 5th. Heesterbeek 6th. Victor Ivanov 7th, Gobbi in 8th. Francesconi in 9th, and Timo Valkejärvi, the only guy who was in the 36s, but undoubtedly has made a mistake, or multiple mistakes, maybe throughout his lap, starts from 10th place. Right, so what I wanted to say about Heestebeek, I mean, okay, for comparison, D'Alessandro did a 39.4 middle sector, Heestebeek a 40.2, about 8 tenths slower. D'Alessandro 35.6 final sector, Heestebeek 35.1 final sector. Heestebeek was by far the quickest in that final sector, 4 tenths. And I'm questioning myself, where the heck did he find that? I mean, 4 tenths in the final sector. It's, you know, you have that stadium section in the final sector as well. It's more down to grip than it is to straight line speed, that's for sure. Is Heestebeek running higher down for setup? Who knows? Interesting qualifying session though. D'Alessandro taking pole. And I like that. Obviously it's nice for him, the Italian, being on pole, and a well-deserved pole position as well, in my opinion. A fantastic lap from him. But what I like is that he is in first, and it's not one of the guys who are competing for the championship who is in first at the moment. I mean, Ragusa, yes, he's in second, but you know, for example, if Ragusa was first, D'Alessandro was second, and Klopp in third, you know, maybe Ragusa would just pull away. I doubt it would happen because Alessandro has got good pace, of course, but still, it's nice that Ragusa, Klopp and Masciuli, even Masciuli could get the title, something where it needs to happen, but, you know, realistically, or theoretically I should say, he could still get it. And those guys are all, you know, close to each other. Ragusa second, Klopp third, Masciuli fourth. Fantastic. It's a shame that Hoyer has got his spot. I mean, it would be fantastic if Hoyer could join this club as well, of course. But we'll see what he can do from the back, of course. Got 20 drivers over here as the Wild Nell joined in during qualifying 2, and the warm-up session is on the way. As usual, nothing weird, I should say, in his warm-up session. It's just a 10-minute session for every driver to get used to the fuel a little bit. For some drivers, it may be a nice time to go to the toilet. Maybe, well, you name it. You know, get a drink, whatever. Maybe a time for some drives as well. As I ask, before I say this, let me ask to Sam, our cameraman here. Have we got commercials, Sam? We have got commercials. Sam is really happy about the commercials at the moment. He cannot wait to show them. So maybe some drivers as well position their Thrustmaster wheels for once again. And talking about Thrustmaster, we have a fantastic advertisement, which is Sam Jones going to roll at the moment. And then we will be back for the race. So stay tuned, and I hope to see you in a second then. Well, welcome back. 5 more minutes to go, a little bit over 5 minutes in fact, in this warm-up session. Hope you enjoyed that Thrustmaster advertisement. If you're hungry, thirsty, whatever, feel free to get some popcorn, because the race is about to get underway, and during the warm-up not a lot of exciting things are happening, although for the drivers very useful sessions, but for us speeders, just watching some cars getting used to their fuel loads and whatnot. Sometimes we see a little bit of banter as well. Nonetheless though, I should thank Kuba Brzezinski, who is back with us after he went to Abu Dhabi for the Nissan GT Academy. So does Nico Wisniewski, who is also back, I believe. It's good to have those guys back on board. Kuba Brzezinski correcting me as I made a mistake. It were Heesterbeek's times on the live timing, which were glitched out, bugged out, however you want to call it. That is why he was 8 tenths slower in the middle sector and then suddenly 4 tenths quicker than everybody else in the final sector. So thanks to Kuba Brzezinski, who pointed that one out. And I should say thanks to Kuba as well, who has taught me a little bit how to pronounce the name Mikhail Antonovsky. I'll probably say it still, or pronounce it still way wrong, but it's better than saying Antonovsky or the Polish guy, as my colleague James Sadler usually said. If you're wondering where James Sadler is at the moment, yeah, he has been absent for quite a long while at the moment. I honestly doubt whether we will see him back in the commentary booth for ACE. So James, if you're watching, big shame to not have you here, of course. And I'm gonna have to do it all alone over here because Chris de Jong was busy playing League of Legends. So I'm gonna have to do it on my own here. Alessandro, rather strong pace here as well in the warm-up session, sitting on 139.7 at the moment, but only a half a tenth in front of Michael Francesconi. As always, in warm-up, every commentator says, it doesn't display the true pace maybe from all of these drivers, but still it says something. It's not like if George Chatsipantelis is going to top the warm-up time over here, he's going to win the race as well, of course, but it does say something, unless a driver is using a different fuel level, if he is in a little bit of a trolling mood. But to be honest, I think this championship is still quite serious. The reason for that is that the championship is fully open here. We've got 4 drivers who could still get it. It's obviously fantastic. In fact, when you count Mashulian as well, we have theoretically got 6 people who could still get it. In fact, with 2 races to go, because Hodes is on 234 points. Oh no, yeah, Hodes could get it as well. Yeah, so 6 drivers who could still get it. Although having said that, it's a little bit unrealistic for Mashulian and Hodes to win it. They're a little bit too far back. Obviously, that's no disrespect. It's just the way it is. 2.5 minutes to go though. Club currently topping it, but only 6 thousandths quicker than Michele Alessandro. See, that's what we like to see. Close lap times here being set. Having said that though, D'Alessandro decides he needs to do a little bit better and does so. It's a 139.5. Obviously the track is getting rubbered in more and more, meaning the times are going to drop. It's not really hard to understand if you're a racing fan, obviously. But we have an exciting race in prospect, that is for sure. And I would like to see what we can do here. What the drivers can do, what they deliver in terms of action for the spectators. Just quickly going through the chat here. Nothing fancy happened. Sometimes we see drivers saying, I cut or whatever, but it seems to be all safe and sound, which is very nice. Heesterbeek and Roberto Fernandez are still in the pit lane. They may be one of those guys who are still positioning their Thrustmaster wheels. Julia Ragusa haven't set a lap time either. And the Nel is in, as I said. He is rounding up the time sheet over here. And Alessandro comes in for a practice pit stop. soft tires for him. We've got soft and medium tires here. I'm going to get surprised maybe, or let the driver surprise me by the strategy. I haven't done any practice for this race because I'm simply not going to race this weekend, which means I'm a little bit left in the dark here in terms of, well, everything pretty much. Lap time, however, or what the track feels like. Obviously I've driven around this track last year, but nonetheless that's not all that important. It's just gonna be interesting to see what kind of strategy these guys are going to go with, as I think this is Francesconi. Yep, he's doing some practice starts in the first sector. We'll see what happens. Obviously a very, very tight first corner. We're all knocking on wood because we don't want to see any incidents. What would be a really big shame though is if one of the well, let's say if someone in the top 6 has a race-ending crash or whatever in the first corner or in the first lap even. You know, that would be such a big shame. The championship, as I said, is still fully open here in WC and in Pro. So both championships, the champion is already crowned, but not in Ace, and that is what makes this championship, this series, this league at the moment really, really exciting. With 2 more rounds to go, as Michael Francesconi absolutely crashed someone out in turn 12. Who was it? I think who was the victim? Mashuli? Oh no, his teammate. Yeah, Mashuli. Okay. So the timer reached 0. Just waiting game right now, obviously, as always. Waiting to go. And Michele D'Alessandro says wait. Maybe he still needs to do a quick toilet visit before he is ready to go. We're going to go quickly through the times over here. But Michele D'Alessandro, though, really looking strong here today. Not only in qualifying, but also in the race. This guy starts from pole position. I really hope that there are some drivers behind him who could stop him, because it would be a shame if he just drives off into the distance. Obviously nothing against you, Michele, but well, boy would we all love it if we have a proper fight for the first place. To be honest, I could see it happening, but yeah, Alessandro just cannot drive away in the first couple of seconds straight away. That's just, or the first couple of laps straight away. You can't afford that, otherwise this guy is most likely gone. Klopp in second then, 39.7. Francesconi in third, also in 39s. Mikhail Antonovsky in fourth, starting from the back of the grid. Marek Godek starting from the back of the grid, also at 39. Those guys though, okay, Michael was on soft, Marek Godek was on medium. So quite impressive from Godek, that time on medium in the 39s. Then we get into the 140s with Mashuli, Hodes, Gobi, Prieto and Ivanov running up the top 10. Paschalis George is 140.7, also on the medium tire. Let's actually go quickly through that. We've got Godek on the medium, Prieto on the medium, Hoyer on the medium, George is on the medium, and also Alessio Campus is on the medium tire, as we are getting ourselves prepared for this 45 lap race, which could be really vital in terms of championship points and championship position or positioning in this championship. I'm sure most of the championship leaders, or yeah, most of the championship leaders, you know, P1, 2, 3, 4, go on, they are really sure that they may not crash. They have to finish today in a good position in order to be crowned the champion here. With 2 more rounds to go, which I said before, there's not, well, most likely not going to be a champion crowned over here. If there is, it's obviously going to be a Kiss. But in order to get the party going, Klopp needs to DNF basically. Well, a lot of drivers just need to DNF. That's basically it. As the formation lap is on the way. I doubt that's going to happen though. I doubt that Daniel Kiss is going to be crowned the champion today in Ace. Which is good, because obviously then it's going to go down the wire and it goes down into interlagos. But anyway, enough of that championship, of course. We are going to race here today, and let's focus on that one. 20 corners around this track. It's a 3.4 mile long track, in fact. And obviously the first turn is a tight one, but also goes up the hill and down the hill on traction zone. we'll see how that pans out at the start of the race. Not only at the start, we'll maybe see some overtaking over there, although the majority of the overtaking, you would say, are going to happen down this back straight where Michele D'Alessandro is driving at the moment. So in fact, 130 feet is the difference between the highest and lowest point on this track in terms of elevation. That says something. When did this track actually, when did this track make its debut in F1? Was it 2013 or 2012? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Maybe 2012, but I doubt it. Maybe it could be 2013 as well. Not entirely sure. I think it's 2012 in fact. So reasonably new track, but we all knew that. What can Klopp do as well? Very, very consistent driver always. Knows how to handle the tires. And Marshuli in 4th place. Maybe a little bit of a guy who is a bit sneaky, you know. We'll see what happens. It's indeed 2012 here, is what our cameraman Sam Jones confirmed. Great to have you back, Sam. As a cameraman, you were here already for Suzuka, of course, but before that we were missing you. Luckily, you're back. So here we go then. Michele D'Alessandro doing a little bit more swerving as he reached the end of this formation lap, and will try to find his grid slot, and will be staring at those lights as always. And well, he parks his car right now, and the heartbeat is rising, and rising. Waiting for Marigodek to find his grid slot. It is indeed Mitch Joyer and Mikael Antonovsky, the two drivers who are starting from the back of the grid. And Marigodek has found his grid slot about now, behind the wall now. And so the stare at the lights has happened, and they are coming on already. It's Saturday, October the 17th. And the lights are out, and the 13th round is underway. And let's have a look. Michele D'Alessandro with a reasonably good start. Ragusa following him at the moment. No major carnage at the back. Ragusa going for the inside into turn 1. Ragusa takes it, I would say pushes Michele D'Alessandro a little bit wide. And is Rens Klopp going to get through as well? That's the question. The answer is, oh, bit of contact. Rens Klopp got through though, round the outside here, still side by side. And here we go, contact mate. Michele D'Alessandro losing his front wing. And luckily stays out of the track, because otherwise if he rejoined it, we would have had a major crash. Rens Klopp steals the lead though, and he is being followed by Ragusa and Marshuli in 3rd place, but definitely some things happened at the start there with Michele D'Alessandro losing out horribly, and in fact he is the first DNF of today and will be swearing at the moment in Italian language behind his computer. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm going to have a look at the replay rather soon, as Rens Klopp absolutely flies off into the distance straight away. This is what we know from Rens Klopp. He gets the lead and immediately flies off pretty much. Hodes having a look on the inside of Eros Marshuli. Not close enough at the moment. Heestebeek in 5th, following Martin Hodes. Not a lot of side-by-side action. There's carnage in the back though, in turn 12. The wall now is spun around. Same for Shatsi Pantelis, who has lost his front wing. Definitely something happened there on the run down to turn 12. Shatsi Pantelis, in fact, is another retirement. And the wall now is struggling himself too to get back to the pit lane, I would say. Shatsi Pantelis not amused though. Typing in the chat here during this race that something which is forbidden. Nonetheless, Rens Klopp passes the start-finish line for the first time. And also as the leader, 1.4 seconds is the gap between Ragusa and Klopp. And Ragusa has got to do everything he can in order to keep up with the Dutchman. Goes a little bit deep to turn 1 in fact. So Ragusa has to push right here, because if he's going to let Rens Klopp go, he is gone. You can count on that. And not a lot more action at the moment. I'm gonna have a quick look at the replay if that is possible. Antonovsky is in the pit lane. What is that a scheduled pit stop though? Okay. Q Sam Jones. It was Antonovsky who was involved in that Shatsi Pantelis, the World Now incident. Ben Horo in the pit lane as well. 2 retirements after the first lap here. Down the back straight most drivers go. Need to have a quick look. Is there anyone close? Zero is not enabled yet, but it's a big train of cars, that's for sure. Rens Klopp is still extending his lead. In the background, there's a Ghost Speed car under attack. It's Timo Varkejaving having a little bit of a look on Prieto, but those guys are all definitely way too far back from each other. And Mikael Antonovsky is our 3rd retirement of the day. A bit of debris in turn 12 as well. Let's have a look. Michele D'Alessandro quickly looking at the replay from the start. There was an incident where he lost his front wing. First of all, Ragusa got through on the apex of the first turn, of course. Then later on, it was Klopp and Ragusa who made contact. Klopp going around the outside, and then okay, I would say that's Alessandro's fault, to be honest. Don't want to point my finger on him directly, but I've got to be realistic. Drove into the back of Ragusa there. Has Ragusa got any damage? That's the question. I doubt he has. It was a bit of a tap, pretty much. It was enough though for Alessandro to lose his front wing. It was a little bit of a similar tap which Klopp gave to Ragusa at the round down to turn 3, where he passed him eventually around the outside, having the inside line for the next corner. And a bit of a train of cars here at the moment. Lap 2 of the race out of 45. Gap between Ragusa and Klopp somewhat stabilizing. 1.8 seconds is the gap at the moment. Thing is though, maybe that's already too much of a gap for Klopp. You know, Klopp is a driver who can control the gap massively well. Knows when to save tires, knows when to push and demand a little bit more from his tires. 1.8 though, let's have a look what it is at the end of the second sector here. Ragusa obviously has to do something if he wants to win this. 1.9 is the gap, and the thing is as well, these guys are all in that championship battle, and Klopp is in fact third, Ragusa is a second. I think they were separated by like 5 points. So at the moment, if Rens Klopp would win this in front of Ragusa, he would move in front of Ragusa as well in the championship. Bit of a battle in the stadium section at the moment. Got a few drivers running relatively close to each other. Bit of a battle with Victor Ivanov and Francesconi. That may heat up a little bit once DRS has been enabled, which may have been this lap already. I'm not sure, I didn't keep an eye out on it, to be honest. And indeed, that gap between Klopp and Ragusa is somewhat stabilizing, which is good. Maybe Ragusa can try to turn the momentum into his favor right now and start closing down the gap to Klopp. Ivanov being under pressure from Francesconi at the moment. Victor Ivanov may not be close enough to Acebake to pick up DRS from him, which may be crucial for him in order to defend from Francesconi. At the same time, Fabrizio Gobbi in 8th place is looking at this battle as well. And I think he's close enough, Victor Ivanov, to Acebake in order to get DRS. Yeah, he must be, so that's gonna help him, yeah, definitely. Ivanov getting DRS over there, definitely gonna help him to defend from Francesconi. I don't think there will be any position changes over there then. Kodak is looking close on the back of Georgius, who got all through the first couple of bends cleanly. Those guys who started from the back, except for Antonovsky, of course. Paschalis Georgius on the back of Roberto Fernandez. Having a look on the inside as Paschalis Georgius. Can he get him on the braking? Answer is no. These guys are obviously a bit held up here, maybe, or perhaps, by Roberto. We know these guys are really strong drivers. They're on a medium tire, however, and they are behind Roberto Fernandez, but usually those are the guys who are competing for, I would say, 5th place, usually in the top 10, that's for sure. Sometimes even for the win. Let's Klopp completing another lap though, and the more or the further he goes on this stint, I have the feeling the more the gap will be to Ragusa. It increased by 2/10 once again over the course of the last lap, pretty much. And Klopp is someone who, as I said before, knows how to look after those tires. Relatively close in the midfield, to be honest, at the moment. As I said, for P6 it's a bit of a battle, but it's crucial for Victor to stay with Ruud Heestebeek at the moment, which he is doing nicely. It's about an 8/10 gap the whole time, but you know, that's enough to get the RSS Heestebeek, but a little bit deep into turns 8 and 9, which are really tricky corners, to be honest. You'll see a lot of gudding, or at least you think it is gudding, but in FSR, I said it before, you are allowed to use the curbs to your advantage in terms of track limits as well, so having 2 wheels on the curb is always legal in this competition. Victor Ivanov on the back of Heestebeek, obviously having the RS. Heestebeek lost quite a bit of time in the first sector over here. Straight away he finds Victor Ivanov behind him. It's a nice battle now for P5, so not for P6 anymore, it's now for P5. Once again, Georgius is trying to overtake Fernandez, but Fernandez is driving really solid at the moment. doesn't crack under the pressure. Nicely on the track here, doesn't make any mistakes and keeps Georges behind in the moment, which we will be very happy about. But Georges will obviously be frustrated. Same for Godek and Hoyer, of course. Those guys want to get past, but they are most likely feeling that they are being held up. Hasterbeek once again pulling away a little bit from Ivanov in the final sector. Hasterbeek seems to be a little bit faster than Ivanov at the moment, but may be struggling to find the consistency. And Ragusa, yeah, he is about leveling off. The gap was 2 seconds before. It's now about 1.9, so these guys are very, very similar paced, but I think Ragusa could get maybe a little bit more out of it. He sometimes misses the apexes. Feels that this is an important part of the race. He cannot let Rens Klopp go. In the first sector he once again missed a few apexes, and it's a result of that is that gap once again is over 2 seconds. So that gap is just in my country, in the Netherlands, we say yo-yo. It's a yo-yo effect. Sometimes Ragusa reels in a little bit, sometimes Rens Klopp extends that gap. It's a shame we don't see a big fight here at the moment, but hey, who knows, it's lap 5 of the race out of 45, 20 laps to go. So plenty of action to go as well, I would say. This is the chance for Hoyer, who goes on the back of Godek. Godek must have had a poor run on the exit of turn 11. Hoder's on the inside for this corner. They both had the RS of Kweekel and tried to go around the outside. Brilliant driving from the both of them. Hoyer in the end got past with the inside line in turn 12. A fancy move from Hoyer, definitely a great move. Going side by side into there, but both guys left each other enough room. Hoyer will be happy with that, but Godek somehow lost out on that. Maybe, as I said, at the poor run out of the exit of turn 11, which compromised his speed down the back straight. That's most likely what happened. Hoder starting to knock on the door of Mashuli as well at the moment. That may be an interesting battle. Fourth retirement of the day as Hoder goes on the inside for turn 1. He somehow managed to slow it all down. Eros Mashuli saw him coming, left him room on the inside. Suddenly we have 2 extroverts in the name of the world, Nel and Ben Hoyer. But what a move from Hoder there on the inside of turn 1. Brake rather late. Mashuli luckily saw it coming, left him enough room on the apex of the corner. Fantastic driving by both of them. Very opportunistic from Hoder, of course, as well. But respect to Mashuli for seeing that one coming. How many times do we see a driver turning into a corner while someone else has made a dive bomb on him? I always say a dive bomb is you can perform it on your own, but you need some kind of help from the other driver as well, from the defending party, because if the defending party just turns in on you, you're obviously the one to blame because you have made that dive bomb. And this time, I think Georges is rather close to the back of Fernandez. He is indeed. Here we go, Georges with the RS. Can he get past? He picks up the toe right now as well, picks up the slipstream, goes for the inside. Roberto not really defending. Look at that, Pascal is braking really late, making the apex as well nicely. That's a ballsy move from Pascal Georges, rather late on the brakes, but made that one stick. And to be fair, Fernandez not putting up the biggest fight in the world ever. Let's see what Pascalis can do though. Can he pull away? Can he close the gap to Prieto? The gap between Prieto and Pascalis at the moment is about 3.5 seconds. The gap between the leaders is 2.2 seconds, as Hodes is the first one to pit. That's an interesting one. Lap 7 of the race, Hodes may be feeling that he's slightly held up behind Eros Mashuli, so he's going to go for the undercut, but in order to make that one work, he's got to come out in clean air, and you would say that it is not a problem because the whole field basically just flew by, except for Alessio Campos, who comes flying by right now, and Hodes is going to join just by the wood. That's a bit no, it's a bit of a meh, because Hodes fights Campos in front of him, may be able to clear him relatively easily, although that gap is about 2 seconds at the moment. But maybe it would have been a little bit better for Hodes if he had completely clean air. But it's not too much of an issue. We shouldn't exaggerate. Oh, side-by-side action here between Hoyer and Fernandez. Even into turn 11, Hoyer sweeps around the outside. Look at Koenig as well coming into play in this battle. This is going to be a fancy run down to turn 12. I can guarantee you. Hoyer in the slipstream of Fernandez, going right on the back of Hoyer as well. Hoyer on the inside, they're going to go side by side, 3 wide pretty much, into turn 12. Hoyer already passed even before the corner. Godek on the braking past Fernandez as well. And a really nice move from these guys. Props to Fernandez as well there. I have to say. Fernandez being nicely as well. No, weird moves from Fernandez. No retardness or whatever is what Chris de Jong would say. Fernandez actually goes off. Heesterbeek's in the wall. I just heard. Oh, Heesterbeek is indeed in the wall. As Fernandez retired at that same time, Heesterbeek and went into the wall. Outside curb. That is something I didn't expect, to be honest. Not from Heesterbeek, of course. But at least once in this race, I expected that to happen. Heesterbeek found himself into the wall without a front wing. Comes back into the pit lane. Good spot from our cameraman Sam Jones. And it's the outside curb which catches out the first driver of today. In the name of Ruud Heesterbeek. Turn 19. The outside curbing. You don't want to touch it. You really do not want to touch that. And Heesterbeek did it. And then immediately your car spun around. Trust me, guys, when I say that it's not the first car and or that it's not the final car, I should say, we see crashing over there during this weekend. Mark my words. Fabrizio Gobbi, however, all over the back of Viktor Ivanov, who comes under more and more pressure. Viktor Ivanov, is he going to go defensive? You would say yes. Well, he's got good top speed in that car, Viktor Ivanov. Picked up the DRS himself, of course, as well. Gobbi just a bit too far back at the moment. And it's nice for drivers like Godek, Hoyer, Paschalis, Sturgis. They are now being released in clean air. Obviously they are running a different strategy though. They're on the medium tire. 14 drivers left in this race though, not a lot at all. Prieto is on the medium as well. Remember, Prieto is doing quite a decent job in fact on the medium tire. He is about equal in terms of pace to Georges, who is behind him. Prieto is really looking good at the moment on that medium tire. Right, so we should see the next couple of guys coming into the pit lane. First one is Paschalis Georges, who's going to pit. Same for Mitchie Hoyer. So the electronic garage will be busy. Klopp in the lead though. Still 2.6 seconds to Ragusa. Nothing really changing over there. Just Klopp, which is slowly but surely pulling away from Ragusa at the moment. And where is Hodes? What's Hodes doing? Yeah, about 5/10 quicker than the leader of this race at the moment on those fresh tires. He went to the soft tires as well. You would think that the top 5 is going to respond relatively soon. Lap 9 of the race though. There's, by the way, no rain at all forecasted for this whole weekend, so we will not see any kind of rain today, neither tomorrow I don't expect. When you look at the sky, there is not a single cloud I can spot, just not a single one. Gobbi got past Ivanov down the back straight as well, with use of DRS most likely. Just outbroke him easy. Wow, that's a big lockup for Gobbi, by the way. He made a rather ballsy move, break the rather late in turn 12. I thought he would be alongside even before the corner as the leader pits. When Slopp is in the pit lane, and Gobbi is driving with a flat spot though, that's for sure after that overtake. And look at this, the pit lane really busy. As I said, the top 5 would respond. And here we go, the whole top 5 is in the pit lane, and Slopp having a bit of trouble exiting his pit lane with Moshuli entering his pit box. Let's have a look. Nothing too fancy going on there at the moment. Michael Francesconi finds his slot as well. Viktor Ivanov just exited. And where is Hodes? Hodes is at the moment in 7th. And comes out in front of Eros Moshuli. And is behind Godek at the moment, who is obviously yet to stop. So Hodes in 6th at the moment. Rens Klopp in 3rd. In fact, did he extend his gap? It's pretty much the same still to Ragusa, I think. So those guys are still relatively close to each other. Having said that, it's 1.6 seconds. So in fact Ragusa gained a little bit of time during that pit stop phase, which is crucial for him. It's maybe one of those moments, where Ragusa can turn the momentum into his favor and close down on Rens Klopp. Unless you Campus under pressure from Viktor Ivanov, obviously all those guys are on fresh tires at the moment. would think that Ivanov is really close now, and definitely close enough to make a move in. Unless your Campos goes defensive for turn 12. Ivanov had a good run out of turn 11, obviously with those fresh tires. He's going to have to do it around the outside though, as Campos also had the RS on those fresher tires, and Victor Ivanov does it with the inside line for the next corner as well, so should be an easy peasy move. Campos not giving up though. Nice to see from Campos, not giving up easily. And there's an incident. I'm pretty sure there's an incident at turn 12. Or is it a little bit further field? I think there has been an incident with Godek. Yep, Hodes and Godek. Oh man. Oh, into turn 15. That is definitely not a usual overtaking position or location, I should say. I need to look at the replay. Hodes, yeah, I'll definitely go for the inside there. Godek left the door wide open, don't get me wrong, but this is one of those things which I was talking about before, obviously, with the dive bombs. I think it's a bit too much to call this a dive bomb, but Hodes definitely going for the space over there, which was there. Then you need to trust your opponent as well, that he's not going to turn into you, which is what happened there. But I think at the same time that Hodes went a little bit with too much speed into there as well, because it's the nature of the corner that, you know, when you are too much to the inside there, you're just going to overshoot it. Overshoot the apex. Maybe a bit too optimistic from Hodes, but at the same time the gap was there. It's one for the race directors obviously to look at. It's not up to me to judge. Lost a lot of time obviously for Godek, but also for Hodes of course. Who's still in 6th place, but now has Francesconi behind him. Relatively close. Hodes on the inside here, having a look. Not close enough. This is a battle which is heating up, you can feel it. And Klopp is 3.4 seconds behind Gobby, who is yet to stop himself. But this is a nice battle for the what is it? 4th place. I think 4th place a little bit too much. Let's say 5th place. And even Pascalos Georges, in my opinion, Michi Hoyer, Prieto, you know, those guys who started from the back could end up at somewhere around 5th place, but this stint is going to be extremely crucial for these guys. If Godek is going to battle, for example, with Hodes a lot, then it's going to hold them up or slow them down, and it will be the opportunity for those guys who had the back of the grid to catch up a little bit. Ragusa with the fastest lap of the race, 138.4 compared to the 138.8 from Rensklopp. Ragusa gaining 4/10 last lap or Rensklopp, and as I said a few laps ago, this could be one of those moments where Ragusa could turn the momentum into his favor, and it seems like he is doing that, which is awesome for us to see. He's quite quick at the moment, quicker than Klopp, and that gap is down to about 9/10 of a second. So in fact, Ragusa already finds himself within the DRS of Rensklopp, and in fact his DRS is already open down this back straight. So nice to see that. Ragusa applying some pressure on Klopp of the pit stop phase here, and that's nice for all the viewers of course. Bit of a battle for P5 at the moment. Yes indeed, Hodes on the inside already got past Godek even before the corner. Godek tried to get back at him, but can't do anything about it. He's obviously on the medium tires, yet to stop, and Francesconi on the inside here, so you cannot turn in, and he does it. And there we go, there's another incident with Godek and Francesconi. I need to look at the replay. I think it's another tough one. Godek once again leaving the door wide open as Gobby comes into the pit lane. I don't, blame Francesconi going for the inside there. He had a better run out of turn 12. Tough one. As soon as he applied the brakes, they were definitely not side by side, but boy, he was alongside on the apex. And in my opinion, when that happens, you cannot turn in. Gobby comes out of the pit lane and spins. Gobby in the middle of the first corner has lost control of his car, and this causes a big, how would you say it? A big cause of reaction, carnage, I guess you could call it indeed. But it's going to have a major consequence, I think, for the rest of the race, because Gobby is now in front of Georges, and Georges needs to get past as soon as possible. Wow, Gobby on pit exit, spun around there. Very entertaining race so far, despite there being 14 drivers in it. Let's have a look. Church is behind Gobby, of course. Gobby picks up the DRS as well. Nah, Church is too far back. Gobby having really good straight line speed down that straight. Same for Prieto. Ooh, Gobby, what are you doing? Oh, and Paschalis overshoots the corner, collects the bullet as well, and drops down. Oh, goes for the inside here. See, that is something. That's a perfect example. George is indeed in front of Hoyer. Same location, one lap later though, and George is going, you know, really aggressive, obviously, on the entry of turn 13. But Hoyer saw it coming and did not turn into the corner, and thanks to that, avoided a collision. Which is something which happened in the lap before that, with Godek obviously, and Godek being under attack here as Victor Ivanov goes by. Easy peasy move for Victor Ivanov with DRS down the start finish straight. We don't see them that often. We usually see them at the back straight. But turn 1 is a typical dive bomb corner as well. It's really up the hill, you can brake rather late, carry different lines through there. And Ragusa is getting closer and closer to Rensklopp. Gap between these guys, about 0.6 of a second. Nice to see a battle for the lead over here, which is straight away quite an important battle in the championship as well. Rensklopp third in the championship, Ragusa second in the championship. I think these guys were separated by 5 points at the moment. Klopp having 282 points out of my head, I think it was. And Kiss at the moment having 330, but he is not racing, of course, anymore. Klopp being definitely under attack though, that is something which is for sure. Paschalis just overshot turn 12. I don't know whether he braked too late or was surprised by something. Not entirely sure. But definitely didn't want to give up the place to Hoyer. Must feel quite a bit as well that he locked his tires. It's gonna give him a little bit of a flat spot for the rest of the stint. Oh, someone spun off. It's Ivanov. Ivanov on the exit of turn 15. Holy cow. I don't see him very often over there. What happened? Just too early on the power? Yep. Not too much and too early for Ivanov, I think. He lost his front wing as well. Kodak in the pit lane in the meantime. And that's another guy who's going to drop out of the top, what was it? 7, 6, 8? Top 8, something like that, Victor Ivanov. Ooh, and a battle here going on for P6 with Valky Yarvi, who is still out on the medium tires. This is what you love to see, a big train of cars. It would be even more exciting if they were all side by side, but hey, maybe that's going to happen down the back straight here. What may also happen is an overtake between Ragusa and Klopp, although Ragusa is quite a bit further back than he was last time round. Quickly looking at the top speed from Ragusa down the straight with DRS, and it is only 317 kilometers an hour. And Klopp, down that straight, obviously did not have DRS, did 309 kilometers an hour. 8 kilometers an hour difference. But obviously Ragusa had DRS. Anyway, here we go. Once again, battle for P6. Prieto quite close behind Gobby, not close enough though. Timo Valky Yarvi, when is this guy going to pit? But you got a pit light on? Nope. I don't blame him, to be honest. Why should you pit? Why did Timo pit? Timo may have pitted. I think Timo did in fact pit already. That's my fault. Yeah, Timo must have pitted. Excuse me. It's absolutely my fault. Gobby in 7th though then. It's all a battle which is fair and square. Prieto with DRS on Gobby. Looking quite close. Is he going to go for it into turn 1? Why not? Having a look on the inside maybe? No, he doesn't even look on the inside. Takes a different line into it, more of a sweeping line. Will allow him to get a bit earlier on the power. Here we go. Prieto rather close to Gobby at the moment. Not able to do anything though. But it's heating up a little bit. You can feel it. So Georges is already in the top 10. Same for Hoyer, who obviously were the guys who were starting from the back of the grid. Hoyer even in the pit lane. Was it Hoyer? I think it was. Antohovsky was the one who started from the plane, but he saw himself retiring after one lap already. Same for Michele D'Alessandro, who was looking really quick in this around this track, but yeah, I think he made a mistake himself. This is really close on Timo Varkejärvi is going to go for it. Timo brakes rather late, locks up a little bit for turn 12. Look at Prieto as well, just instantly closing up by a couple of tenths to Gobby, because Gobby had to take not really an avoiding action, but as soon as you see the guy in front of you locking up, you do start to be a bit more careful. Prieto taking an interesting line over there, really sweeping it into the corner once again. It's a nice way of taking the corner though. That's the way you want to do it pretty much, although he locked up as well in the same time. Ooh, don't touch the outside curb there too much, guys. Hodes once again is in the pit lane and really knocking on the door of Gobby at the moment. This is interesting. Prieto needs a good run out of the final corner. Excuse me, he had a good run, but once again it seems like a similar gap to what it was last lap, and last lap he couldn't do anything in the first turn. So there's a stationary in the pit lane. Hodes is stationary and Prieto brakes late. All of these guys are braking rather late, but no position changes at the moment. Prieto's looking strong though. Definitely the one who is looking strongest in this group at the moment. Georges and Hoyer are somewhat hanging back a little bit perhaps, waiting for the action to unfold and then strike. Hodes fed out I should say. Feeded is not an English word. Fed out, sorry, in P10, just in front of Heestebeek. We saw losing his front wing earlier, as he was the first victim of the outside curb of turn 19. Prieto once again having a really good line through turn 11, really trying to line himself up for a pass here in turn 12, but Gobby himself has got reasonably good top speed as well. He's going to go for it himself on the inside of turn 12. Yes, he does go for it this time. Timo Varkejärvi leaves room on the inside, that's the way you do it. Prieto's trying to get a sniff in as well, and he locks up though a little bit, and this is fantastic. Gobby trying to go around the outside, he will have the inside line over here, and even Prieto tries to get a sniff on the inside and makes it stick as well. Fantastic driving from these guys. Timo Varkejärvi in the end losing out a little bit over there, but honestly it was more or less beautifully driven from Gobby and same from Prieto, but mainly Gobby going around the outside over there. Then it was poorly driven from Timo. I mean, around the outside there was incredible. And remember as well that Gobby himself was on the medium as well, and Timo Varkejärvi lets his teammates go. I think that's a wise choice. Timo being on the medium over here, his teammates on the soft tire. So let's see what's going to happen here. This is a really interesting battle, and Hoyer of course wants to move himself up as much as he can for the championship battle. As Georges makes it very rough first sector, instantly losing a couple of tenths, I'm sure, to Prieto. What they need to do now though, you've got those three electronic cars behind Prieto at the moment. They may not lose connection with Prieto. They need to stick with him. They may not let those guys go. Obviously Gobby and Prieto. To be continued, pretty sure. Well, can Hoyer, by the way, overtake here straight away? That would be interesting. The DRS wide open for Hoyer. It's too far back. Yep, way too far back. So no position change over there then. And back to the lead. Same story here. A few laps later though. But Rensklop is still leading. About 6 tenths is the gap to Ragusa. I saw that the gap went over a second again, but Ragusa managed to get back into DRS, which is good news for us. But these guys are really similar paced, and there's not a lot Ragusa can do at the moment other than following. Maybe wait for a mistake from Rensklop. Having said that, Rensklop and mistakes is rare. It's not a good combination, to be honest. There's another guy in the pit lane, Paschalis Georgius. It's an interesting one. May be a bit compromised by the flat spot he had before, or which he had on the tire because of the lockup. May feel that an undercut is worth it. Goes for the soft tire as well, so he really goes for the undercut. In order to make it work though, he had to go to the soft tire. In order to make it work even more, he needs to feed out in clean air, but once again, Ignacio Campos is over there, who is going to hamper him a little bit, I'm sure. He's not entirely into clean air. And Ragusa is quite close on the back of Rensklop. So applying more and more pressure is Ragusa at the moment here for the lead, but also I would say for the championship. Or an important couple of points for the championship. Ragusa has his pit in light on though. And Klopp as well. Okay, so we may see both guys coming into the pit lane. Rens Klopp definitely going to try to fend off the undercut, which Ragusa is going to try to do most likely this lap. I mean, usually we see them both coming in. Is that the case though? Yes, it is the case. Both drivers into the pit lane then. Here we go. Activating the pit limiter. Look at this. The lead is being, you know, catching in one picture. Caught in one picture. Ragusa overshoots it. Yep, I saw that one happening. Ragusa overshot his pit box. Going to cost him. There we go. Look at that gap which Rens Klopp created. Ragusa just slightly overshooting his pit box. To be honest, it's quite a tricky pit box. It's quite slippery in the pit lane over here. It's at least what I noticed myself last year as well, when I made a mistake in the pit lane myself. And I overshot it as well, just like Ragusa pretty much. And Masciuli takes the lead. Masciuli having a rather quiet race at the moment, but definitely driving stable. The gap is 10 seconds between himself and Rens Klopp at the moment. And it does look like most of these guys are on for a free stop then. So no major battles going on at the moment. I'm just interested to see what Paschalis can do. He already got past Alessio Campos, which is not the biggest surprise ever because of those fresh tires. But this guy is going to be pushing tremendously hard at the moment. He wants to make that undercut work, of course. Oh, this is done in 1:38.3 purple, which means the fastest lap of the race. And I'll have a look at George's sector times. He went purple straight away in the first sector. But where is he going to feed out with relative terms to Gobbi, Prieto and Hoyer? You would obviously expect he's going to feed out in front of Hoyer, as he was before anyway. But can he make the undercut work on Prieto and Gobbi though? That's the question. Gobbi doing awesome business though on the medium tire. Prieto is on the soft. And Gobbi being able to keep Prieto behind, even though Prieto is on the soft. And Masciuli is in the pit lane. He's gonna give him or hand the lead of the race back to Rens Klopp. Almost halfway through the race, 20 out of 45 laps, and a few more guys into the pit lane. One of them is Michael Francesconi. And Eros Masciuli is going to feed out in P4, 5, what is it? 5, most likely. Yep, P5. Ooh, that was rather close between Francesconi and Hoyer in the pit lane. No drama there though, don't get me wrong. It's going to be close between Francesconi and a Go Speed driver, which is Godek. Into turn 1. There we go, Godek. That's the way to do it. Leaving room on the inside nicely there. Wow, very close there in turn 2. Almost going side by side into there. And now Godek needs to try to stick close with Francesconi, although easier said than done. Because Francesconi is on the fresh tires. Yes, his tires will still be a little bit cold. You need to get up the temperature. But you can instantly see as well that Godek dropped off by a couple of tenths. Reason for that also partly dirty air, but mainly I would say the fresh tires from Francesconi. This time Godek obviously saw it coming from a mile away and left Francesconi enough room on the inside of turn 1. Not a lot of action at the moment. Prieto is still knocking on the door a little bit of Gobbi. In fact, Prieto decides it's enough. He goes it into the pit lane, which is, I think, a wise choice because you know he was getting nowhere behind Gobbi. He was just don't know really whether he was stuck. Maybe he is really similar pace to Gobbi, but this is going to give him a chance to undercut Gobbi, of course. And he finds his pit box. A lot of drivers struggling to find their pit box. What's Prieto going to do? Where is he going to feed out? On the soft tire again. He feeds out behind Paschalis. Alright, let's P10 then. And once again on the soft tire, also trying to make that undercut work. And Paschalis has made the undercut work. He is in front of Prieto. since Prieto was really close to Gobby, you would say that Paschalis also has managed to undercut Gobby, which will be extremely good news for him. The news which is a little bit less good is that Georges will be on the tire by quite a margin to Gobby, who most likely is going to respond in the next couple of laps. He's in fact side by side with Eros Mashuli going into turn 12. Just about got a glimpse of that. Mashuli around the outside here as well can do it, despite having those soft fresh tires. Mashuli is knocking on the door here, definitely. This is going to cost Gobby a little bit of time. Fixing this, you would also say that this is pretty much the confirmation, excuse me, that Gobby is going to end up behind Prieto and behind Georges when he pits, which is not now. Can Mashuli do anything about that place? You would say yes, maybe with the DRS over here. The DRS wide open for Eros Mashuli, going pretty much into turn 1 side by side. Well, not really. Mashuli not having the balls to brake as late there, and why would he? Just take it stable and nice, and having a good run out of the exit of the first corner side by side into turn 3. Who is going to live? They are both still on the throttle, and Mashuli needs to take the long way home. Really interesting to see that they go side by side into there after the somewhat careful approach from Mashuli into turn 1. But hey, I'm not complaining. This is fantastic to see. Of course, we want to see some battling, but I think Gobby is going to snap here down his back straight. Mashuli looks rather close. Will get DRS as well. Gobby doesn't have DRS from a guy in front of him to defend it with, and Mashuli is already almost in the gearbox, just braking for. Oh, someone is off. Prieto is off. Oh, so trying to make that undercut work, did Prieto, but in the end, only made a mistake because of it. On the curb, yep, outside curb. Driver number 2 who is being called out by the curb this weekend, and immediately Prieto has a massive flat spot on his tire and can say farewell to this set of tires, I'm pretty sure. Because that is going to be horrible for him to drive with. That is a pretty big flat spot, and Mashuli indeed got by Gobby down the back straight. With DRS then you would think. Straightforward move. Weestabek attacking his teammate Prieto side by side over here. The two ghost speed cars, both still on the throttle. They need to back out of it over here, of course, because of this corner. Weestabek having the bad line through there though in terms of exit speed, but now needs to be careful. He picks up the 30R over here. It's gonna get him a little bit wide, not too much though. He stays nicely on the track. Weestabek not making the mistake he did before. Prieto sliding all over the place over there. Prieto does not pit, interestingly enough. Decides to keep on going despite the massive flat spotted tires he has got at the moment. Weestabek definitely too far back down the start finish straight to do anything about Prieto's position. But this is for the 10th spot at the moment, 10th place. And 14 drivers remaining. We haven't really seen retirement the last couple of laps. The last retirement was in lap 8. Which was Roberto Fernandez, who parked his car alongside the track in the grass, and he called an end to it. So who is looking good at the moment? Hoyer is going rather strong. Fastest lap of the race for him last time round. And Kodak on the inside of Georges here. Oh, Georges trying to make a move stick here, and he does it brilliantly. Locks up a little bit there. Oh, Kodak smart, going for the cutback. Kook. Georges has to lift there. Look at this. This is fantastic battling between the two. Georges obviously was on the inside for turn 13. Kodak though swung it more into the corner itself, and he could get earlier on the power. Thanks to that. Got the position back with a nicely executed cutback. That's the way we want to see it. But Kodak having a massive slide there, and immediately he goes defensive, switches his line there once again. Georges opening up the DRS of course, and he goes for the outside here as Kodak defends the inside. You can go around the outside of this corner relatively easily, although Paschalis can do it over here and will be really frustrated because he is still stuck behind that damned ghost speed car. And in the meantime his teammate is just coming closer and closer in the name of the German, Mitchy Hoyer. Mitchie will be knocking on the door. In fact, he's already knocking on the door right now. And immediately Paschalis Georgios is losing out a couple of tenths in the first sector because of the DRS. Or sorry, not because of the DRS, because of the dirt TR, excuse me. He will get DRS though. That's a plus for him. Gap between the leaders is the whole time about 1.6 seconds. They are once again really similar in terms of pace, but Ragusa just doesn't seem to have the kind of edge he needs in order to make a move stick on Klopp. And Gobby and Hodes themselves are battling too, but that's a little bit in the foreground. In the background we see Georgios and Godek again, and Godek is the sitting duck, as we say it, because Georgios got by there, and this time Godek can't do anything. Hoyer also had a little bit of a look over there, but couldn't do anything. Next up though to line up Godek is Hoyer, but he can't do it at the moment. If Godek is really smart and has the pace to do it, but I doubt he has, because he instantly loses a couple of tenths to Georgios. But you know, if Godek can somehow use Georgios to his advantage in terms of DRS, it will be easier of course to defend from Mitchie Hoyer. And he will get DRS for sure down this start-finish straight, so that's going to help him, as I said, defending from Mitchie Hoyer, the German behind him. Georgios up to 7 though, good to see that after the back of the grid. And Prieto in the pit lane. So he decided he has enough. He has done how many laps on this? He did 3 laps. He completed 3 laps on that set of tires. He was on his 4th lap, then came back into the pit lane and went on to the soft tire again, did Prieto. But 19 more laps to go in this race though. Prieto in 13th place, Victor Ivanov in 14th at the moment. Not having the kind of race you would wish, I'm pretty sure. Hoyer all over the back of Godek. Godek will have DRS. See, this is what I was talking about. Godek will flick on DRS over here, which will give him an extra boost and definitely will make his life a little bit easier defending from Mitchie Hoyer. Hoyer on around the outside though, as Godek has the inside line. Can he do it in turn 12? Here we go, side by side. Still side by side as they're going to enter turn 13. He's going to do the cutback. He's going to try it, I'm sure. But Hoyer has just got the pace and has got the traction there as well. So nicely executed move from Hoyer. And he finds himself in front of Godek as well, which is good for Hoyer, good for the F-Tronic team, because you know, they have got 2 guys now running in 7th and 8th, and they can help each other a little bit, try to get closer and closer to Michael Ventusconi and closer to a 6th place as well. And especially for Hoyer, it will be really important as he needs those championship points. Someone who also needs the championship points, obviously, is Ragusa. 2 seconds back behind Rens Klopp, and that's pretty much it, you know. Cannot get much closer than that. He was close, obviously, in the second stint. You would think he had the best chance over there, but Klopp has got reasonably straight line speed, I believe. As I said before, Ragusa had 317 with DRS, Klopp did 309 without. Obviously an 8 km/h deficit, but Klopp just able to nail those exits of turn 11 every single lap, and that's what keeps him in front of Ragusa. But it's once again, I said it before in this race, a little bit of a yo-yo effect, you know. Sometimes Klopp extends his gap, sometimes Ragusa closes it down. That's pretty much it. Sam Jones is yo-yo effect. Is it actually an English term as well? Oh, okay. Well, Sky F1 uses it, so in that case we can use it as well, I think. So it is a yo-yo effect, that's for sure. Sorry, it is Sam Jones' sense of humor at the moment. Talking about a musical instrument at the moment, but let's leave that behind, as Hodes is once again into the pit lane. I mean, this guy has got into the pit lane relatively early on his first stint. Because of that, you know, the whole time he has to come in first pretty much. Although this time Gobby followed him. Gobby was of course on the medium tire though, and is again going for the medium tire. Gobby feeling quite confident on the medium tire. You would think he's going to finish the race on this set. 17 laps. I think he would finish it. It's going to be close, I think. What did he do last time on a medium stint? How many laps? Let's have a look. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, 14 laps. 14 laps last stint. He needs to do 17 right now. Obviously the fuel level is a little bit lower. These guys are starting with about 180 liters of fuel. And at this stage, no, definitely past the halfway mark. I would say there's about 70 liters, 70, 60 liters, something like that. There's 17 more laps to go. As Timo RV is lining himself up to pass Heestebeek. And he has a look over here. Heestebeek not bothered to defend, but is bothered to brake really late. Nice from Heestebeek, not giving up easily. And I heard crashes. I heard crash noises. It's P8, Marek Godek, who is out. I heard some crash noises. And it's Godek who is out. And Godek, oh, he gets in the way of his teammate over here. Realizes it. And cuts the grass over there, which was, in my opinion, the wise choice. Lost his front wing. But most importantly, he has got massive suspension damage. And I think it's race over for Godek. What has happened with Godek though? Was it a driver error? Answer is yes. Painful for Godek that he hit the barrier there after going maybe a little bit too early on the power on those medium tires, which at this stage don't deliver a lot of grip, especially in traction zones. You know, as soon as they start to wear, you definitely can feel it. And he's in the pit lane at the moment, trying to repair his car, but he had heavy suspension damage. I doubt whether the Go Speed mechanics are able to fix that one. Heestebeek versus Timo Järvi, version 2.0. Next lap, Timo Järvi, so which is this lap obviously, is going to try it again. Here we go. He needs to line himself up here. Then get on the power on the exit of turn 11. You see that just a little bit of wheel spin there in second gear in the dirty air. Just tricky to really get a good exit over there. You want to swing it in, get early on the power. Heestebeek this time does defend from the inside. And so Timo has to go around the outside. The Finnish driver, can he do it? Though he off the inside line over here. But Heestebeek firmly closes the door on the exit. And I think he had the right to do so. Just about, because it was relatively close. But quite a bit of space left between these guys, and so, yeah, I know Timo Järvi has to do version 3.0 and go for another move next lap. The interesting battle between these guys, because Heestebeek is not keen on giving up. Jurges in 6th place at the moment. He led by Hoyer, or Hoyer passed him, one or the other. Hoyer in fact having a really good pace because he pulled away from Paschalis. In fact, Paschalis is losing 1.2 seconds a lap at the moment, so Paschalis may have made a mistake somewhere. And Hoyer, then the teammate from Paschalis, of course, is passed, which is really good for him. In 5th place, as I said, he's battling for the championship. Up the road, Michael Francesconi, about 6 seconds ahead of Mitchie Hoyer. 15 laps to go, and Hoyer at the moment 3/10 quicker per lap. Ooh, nice couple of corners for Timo Järvi. This is the kind of distance he wanted to be back from Heestebeek. Brakes really late for turn 11. This is really good from Timo. Props to Timo for that, because he also had to deal with the dirty air. Gets onto the power nicely. Of course, Heestebeek gets a couple of meters on the exit because of the dirty air and compromises Timo. But I think he should have him this time, even before the corner. Here we go, Timo Järvi on the outside. And Heestebeek really braking late. Once again, he closes the door pretty much on the exit, just about left enough room. And Heestebeek is, wow, I think Timo has to be really frustrated, as we have another retirement in the name of Marek Godek, which we saw coming a couple of laps ago as well, of course, after that crash. But Heestebeek must be driving Timo Järvi crazy at the moment. I honestly thought that Timo would have him. He definitely was in front of Heestebeek while braking, but Heestebeek just, you know, braked a bit later for that corner. And I must say, Heestebeek is really squeezing Timo a little bit on the exit. But nothing which is out of the book in my opinion. I mean, you know, you don't want to be all pushy and whatever. It's just, you know, some hardcore racing as Heestebeek has a little bit of a moment into turn 1. You should try to go racing between the two. And I think that's the way it should be. Acebake obviously leaving enough room on for Timo as well, but only just about by a couple of centimeters really. Once again, Timo is really nice through these couple of corners, not really picking up a lot of dirty air. Timo, man. Timo knows how to deal with dirty air, that's for sure. Taking different lines from Acebake. Having said that though, not as close as he was before. And he will be really disappointed with that one. And something happened to Ragusa. Something has happened to Ragusa. Ragusa is in trouble. He's in third place at the moment. Bashuli jumped up to second. But Ragusa was about 2 seconds back from Rens Klopp, and his second place of this race must have had some kind of spin or accident or whatever. Or did he pit? Oh, thank God, he pitted. Okay, I was a little bit confused already. I thought Ragusa had an incident. And so Klopp comes into the pit lane as well. Ragusa tries to go for an undercut, and excuse me about that one. I was already really surprised when I saw that. And can Ragusa get the undercut, can he make it work? Answer is no, because Rens Klopp is going to feed out in front of him. Although, look at this, they are much closer of course than they were before. I think that was the right call for Ragusa. Going a little bit earlier. Obviously, you know, yes, he has the tires for the stint, but at least he's right now within DRS, and we saw during the second stint when Ragusa was within DRS, he was able to stick with Klopp as well, and that's what he needs, because you know it wasn't working the way they approached it before. I think this is a really smart move. Obviously Klopp responds to next lap, but the undercut effect is there. You know, it's about 1 second which Ragusa has gained because of the undercut, and we'll have DRS down his back straight as well. Good move. Nice for us as well as viewers, once again, very entertaining to see this battle for the lead. But Ragusa too far back once again to do anything than a back straight. Needs to be a little bit closer somehow, needs to take advantage of a mistake from Klopp, but I said it before, Klopp and mistakes, yeah, it's just not a good combination. 12 more laps to go in this race. About 12, about 13, something like that. And Mashuli pits. Mashuli having quite a silent race, but stable as well, I said it before. Flint is Koning coming in as well, which will mean that Mashuli is going to come out in third place. Hasn't lost the position while he pitted, which is good news for him. It's also good news for us that Ragusa was rather close on the first corner to Rens Klopp. This is the chance perhaps. Needs to do a Timo Vakajärvi line through here. Yeah, he's close. I doubt he's close enough once again though. That's the story. Close, but not close enough. And look over here, Klopp is just so stable. The fuel burning and burning, of course. These cars are getting lighter and lighter because of that. And definitely the gap is once again too big. We'll see Ragusa walking towards him down this back straight. Here we go. You know, getting a few meters, but that's pretty much it. Looks quite light for this turn as well. Manages to slow it all down. Gained a couple of tenths, but honestly, the straight line speed from the Twister car is reasonably good. And so you wonder, where can Ragusa do it? Because when you look at Ragusa's on boards, I'm looking at him for the past lap or so. He's quite close here. This is good for Ragusa. He opens up the DRS. Maybe go for a little bit of a dive if he's close enough. No, it's not close enough to do it. He knows it as well, doesn't go for it. Look at this here, Rockers a little bit deeper into there. Compromises exit maybe a little bit. There we go, Klopp gaining an extra couple of meters, but at least Ragusa is trying. He has got the front end. I mean, the front end on Ragusa's car definitely looks nice. Here we go. This is important. This corner over here, you can gain so much time over there, even when you are within dirty air. It's just, you know, it's all about the line you are taking. With comparison to the guy which is in front of you. If the guy in front of you is a couple of centimeters off his line, you will feel less dirty air, and thanks to that maybe gain a couple of tenths over there as well. But even this lap, goes it too far back. Here we go with the R's. I'm gonna do another shit. Klop is reaching 310. Let's have a look what Ragusa was doing over there. Obviously Ragusa had DRS. Ragusa was edging out on 318. And that's it. He was, in the ref limiter, so he cannot go any quicker than that. By the way, 318 isn't all that bad. It's just Klop having 310 as well, and having good runs the whole time out of turn 11. So I would think that Klop, if it stays like this, is going to jump Ragusa in the championship standings as well. Klop is at 282 points. If I remember correctly, I'll actually double check that one. Klop going defensive for the start finish straight. Doesn't want to give this lead away, of course. But it is rather close between them. This is the closest Ragusa has pretty much been all race long. Can he take advantage of it? There we go. So Kiss is 330, Klop has 282. If he wins this race, he's gonna jump Daniel Kiss. And he will get 332 points, obviously wins Klop. Oh, Klop was obviously in second already, excuse me. Klop is already in second, of course, of the championship. It's Ragusa in third. These guys are separated by 6 points. This could be a really vital and crucial day for Rens Klop. If he wins, he's not only going to be the championship leader going into the final round, but he also jumps Daniel Kiss by 2 points. And then one more round to go, of course. So you get 50 points for a win in Ace. Then P2 gets 40, P3 gets 32, and P4 gets 26. It's the same as in Pro. In WC though, it's like F1, 25 points for a victory. So Ragusa has got to be fighting with everything he has got. Because this is really going to be important for him. If he, for example, if Ragusa is going to overtake Klop and finishes first, Ragusa is actually going to jump him and will be leading. Oh no, won't be leading. No, he will not be leading. It will be 4 points behind Kiss. And will be, I think, 4 points ahead of Klop as well. So, whoever wins here from these two is going to be, I would say, the favorite for the title as well. Really nice battle going on here. But Klop just doesn't snap, does he? Klop just keeps driving and driving and has to be so consistent as well. Let's have a look at Klop's lap time, for example. Here we go, in his new stint, 37.3, 33, 37.4, I mean, consistent to the max, of course. It's much a battle for the victory here. I don't see any big battles anywhere else out on the track. Having said that though, Gobby is looking quite close to Martin Hodes exiting turn 11. So they are right now at the back straight. On the back straight I should say, but Gobby isn't close enough. This is a battle for 4th though. And Mashuli is really quiet during this race, but don't take away any respect because it's really nice that he is in 3rd place at the moment. Why? Well, because... Oh, and Gobby and Hodes make contact in turn 13! Holy cow! Gobby has lost his front wing or front wing end plate? Front wing end plate. There was some debris flying over there. That's for sure. Wow, Gobby into turn 13. Having a look at the replay. Wow. Gobby just carrying a lot of speed into that corner, while Hodes didn't. And Gobby probably taking a bit too much speed into there. Made contact with Hodes and sent Hodes round. And the fun thing is as well, he's in front of Hodes at the moment. Hodes will be furious, trying to get past her at the moment. He's gonna try to go around the outside, not gonna do it. The nature of the corner just doesn't allow it. It tightens up a little bit on the exit there. And so we have another battle for 4th place between Hodes, Gobby and Francesconi. Well, that is really nice. And what is also nice about this is that Hoyer could come into play. Hoyer is about 2 seconds behind this group. And so we may have a really big battle as well towards the end of the race here. And that would be incredibly nice. Morgusa, you know, same story. 6 tenths behind Klopp, that's it. Respect to Klopp. I mean, what can you do against this guy if your name is Morgusa? He doesn't snap, doesn't, you know, brake, just lap after lap, pretty much the same line. The identical line. And that's it. He doesn't single centimeter off the racing line, pretty much. That says something, of course. What does he do this lap? Klopp. He had a 37.2 last lap. Does a 37.2 again. You know, that's how consistent he is. He was obviously consistent as well. And Gobby indeed has led the Hodes through most likely. And Francesconi knocking on the door of Gobby at the moment. I'm gonna focus on this battle here for 4th at the moment. We'll see what happens with the lead, but I doubt Klopp is going to do anything silly in the remainder of this race, so Ragusa has to come with something else. Quick look at the replay. Did Gobby let Hodes through? Yeah, that does look like it. So that's good. Took him a little while to do so, but hey, at least he did it. Smart play from Gobby. That's the way to do it. Fair play. And so we have this 4-way battle for... Oh, and here comes Francesconi and they make tact! Can Hoyer avoid? Yes, he can. Hoyer the winner here as he gains 2 positions because of one move over there. And that is... Oh, and Gobby found a rear wing as well. That is a big champion for this battle. Gobby compromised his line, went a little bit deep. And then, yeah, it's... Gobby's still driving without a rear wing, in fact. Let's escape, please, Gobby. Goes off the track. Gobby keeps on going. Yep, Gobby keeps on going. Doesn't even think about pressing escape and getting back into the pit lane. So we have a driver without a rear wing on track at the moment. If I was Chris de Jong, I would immediately give a retard award, but I'm not gonna do that. Gobby's trying to bring that car home. And needs to be really careful doing so. Gobby, come on. He cannot accelerate there. Holy shit, Gobby is going really quickly by the rear wing. This is quite dangerous, to be honest. Yeah, goes off back. I mean, what's the point of still going? Don't really get it, to be honest. Just press escape. There are cars coming behind you which are battling. Alessio Campos and Victor Ivanov, a battle for 12th place further back. Victor Ivanov on the inside over here. Oh, tries to do it, but cannot do it. And there's Gobby going nicely out of the way. Good stuff. Ooh. Campos sliding it in there pretty much. This battle definitely heating up. And George is close to Francesconi as well. So this is time to strike for Georges here. P7 for Georges at the moment. Caught up to Francesconi, as I said before. Just tries to, or needs to try to get past with the DRS, of course. And what is Hoyer doing? That's the question. Hoyer is in 5th at the moment. He's trying to chase Martin Hodes, but had to. Hoyer was about half a second slower last lap compared to Hodes. But Hoyer needs those points definitely and desperately to have any kind of, or increase his chance at least, to become a champion, of course, at Brazil. And boy, are we looking out for that race. I mean, Brazil, you know, dynamic weather for Ace as well. This championship is going to go down the wire, which is fantastic to see. Ragusa still behind Klopp. Nothing changed there. There are 5 more laps to go though for Klopp. And as I said, you would think that Klopp is not going to give that one away. And Gobby is still driving without a rear wing. Is what Sam... Wow. What? What? Good spot from cameraman Sam Jones. What the fuck. Sorry for the language, but yeah, what else can I say? Gobby just didn't even go up to the pit lane to repair, did he? Did he go into the pit lane? No. Oh wait, this is even Excuse me. Gobby. Did he go? Yeah, wait. A bit confused what Gobby is doing here at the moment. I mean, definitely still driving without a rear wing. Yes, I can see that. And he didn't go into the pit lane. Gobby's still driving without a rear wing. And doesn't even think about pitting. Wow. I mean, I think I should stop saying things about Gobby before I throw out anything out of my mouth, which shouldn't come out of my mouth. Because that is just insane, to be honest. As Hoyer is attacking Hodes on the inside here of turn 12. Mitchie Hoyer takes that position nicely. A strong move from Hoyer up to 4th place after starting from the pit lane, I think it was, or back of the grid. Either one of those. But a very strong race from Hoyer. He will be definitely happy. And in the background, it's another Electronic car who was attacking an Eventa car in the name of Michael Francesconi. As Georges went off though. Ooh, that's going to cost him dearly. Now there's about a 3-second gap with which Paschalis has got too close again. And he's running out of time. And Gobby's in the pit lane. Hooray. Gobby has found the pit lane, luckily. That's good. But still, now, in my opinion, but that's my opinion, this kind of driving should be punished, because we see it happening too often. That a driver without a rear wing just goes onto the track, and he's even got a penalty, I think. He says pen. Why? Most likely because he cut it or something because of the rear wing and had to take a really different pass. And Klopp goes deep! And Ragusa goes deep as well. What is going on there at the moment? Ragusa takes the lead, but they both went deep into turn 12. Holy cow, this is something you would not expect. Both drivers making a mistake at the same time, and Ragusa takes the lead. Oh my god, this is crucial for the championship. Amazing, both drivers just going off in the same corner. Does that have a reason? Why did they go both off? I don't see a particular reason for it, to be honest. They just both went deep, and while they were both off the track, Ragusa overtook. Oh my god, what a move! Like, that is insane, because an overtake is being done outside of the track limits, but the other car was outside of the track limits as well. Wow. I don't want to be in Blair Disley's shoes at the moment. He was our race director, obviously. But we have a new leader in the name of Giuseppe Ragusa with a few more laps to go. But those guys both made a mistake. Interesting to see that one. Okay, there we go. Good spot from our race director Blair Disley, who is certainly awake, even though it's like, what is it, at night for him, I don't know. Gobby took out the brake marker. Wow. I cannot believe that. Gobby took out the brake marker, so obviously those guys were using that brake marker. And they both went deep. Yep, there we can see it. The brake marker is gone. The first one, which they used as a marker apparently. Ooh. Wow. Unbelievable scenes here. Ragusa takes it, and can Rens Klopp do anything then? It's the question. Cool. This is not over yet. I can guarantee you this is not over yet. We've got a few more laps to go. Yes, we're running out of time. Yes, but I doubt Klopp wants to give this one away easily. The gap was 3/10 between them after the second split time. The second split time, I should say, but yeah, it's a bit more, of course, because of the dirty air over here. There's another battle between Georges and Francesconi, and Georges takes it. Good move from Georges, putting Francesconi under pressure in turn 12. Another overtake, obviously, in turn 12. As I said, that's the maturity where the overtaking will be going on. Georges was on the outside, and having a look at the replay, Francesconi just went a bit too hard into the corner there, tried to brake a little bit too late in order to get that position, and Georges took advantage of that, while Francesconi was a bit wiggly. So coming to the end of this race here, Prix trying to put a bit more pressure on Teemu Vargjärvi. He was a fantastic Finnish driver. It's very nice to have him. So for Gobby taking out the brake markers, and thanks to that we have a change for the lead in terms of position. And this is so crucial as well for the championship. I mentioned it before. If it stays like that, it's actually Ragusa who's going to jump Rens Klopp in the championship with one more round to go. He will be behind Daniel Kiss though as Rens Klopp. This is his chance. Round the outside for turn 12. Ragusa breaks late though. This is tension between the two. I said it. It's not over yet. Klopp sweeps it more into here. Tries to go for the comeback. Ragusa though. Nice. I was just about to say Ragusa that needs to cover the inside line. Leaves door wide open over here. Ragusa just spins off in fact. And Rens Klopp retakes it. Klopp retakes the lead with Ragusa making a mistake in turn 15. The stadium section. And now you can guarantee, I can guarantee you as well right now, that Klopp is going to take it. Just as I said, you know, Ragusa has got the advantage, the upper hand in the championship. It's Rens Klopp who takes it again. And what is it, you know, what made Ragusa crack over there? It's just pressure. Yeah, maybe, you know, maybe just so much excitement. Klopp already looking into turn 12, into turn 13, going for the cutback. Ragusa was incredibly smart, in fact, to stay a bit to the inside of turn 13, while Klopp tried to execute the cutback, as this is the final lap of the race as well. In fact, so that Klopp couldn't make the on the cutback work because Ragusa was in the way. But after that, you know, I was just about to say you need to pretty much be defending every single corner, go a bit, you know, stay in the middle of the track or something, because you can expect Rens Klopp going for a gap any time. But then Ragusa just, you know, overspeed into turn 15. And there we go. So Klopp most likely going to take it over here. The final couple of corners for him. Warrior can look back at a really good day, who's going to finish in 4th. Holt is in 5th. Georges is 6th, who is still in front of Francesconi. I doubt whether there are going to be any position changes for the remainder of this race. But Rens Klopp is going to take a step towards the championship over here, the ACE Championship. That is for sure. With the final round, he takes the final round to go. He is going to take the lead in this championship after a really big battle, you can say, with Ragusa over the course of this race. It's Rens Klopp, however, who does a big step towards the championship. I said it before, and he wins the 13th round, and Ragusa follows him then. But what an ecstatic finish that was to this race. Masciuli comes home in a silent third, but definitely props to Masciuli, that is for sure, who took home a solid third. Solid drive from him. Didn't really see anything silly, if I remember, from him, which is good. Hoyer in 4th after starting all the way from the back. Respect to Hoyer, and as I said, he will be happy with it. That is for sure. Maximize the things he got. Holt is finishing behind him, and then his teammate Paschalis Georges from Greece, and he was followed by Francesconi. Heestebeek takes home 8th after that early spin early in the race, of course, where he touched the outside curb of turn 19. Prieto finishes 9th, Timo Valgiarvi finishes in 10th. Alessio Campos, the Italian bull, is yet to finish. I have no idea why I called him the Italian bull, but I'm sure Alessio won't mind. And Gobby, still driving then. And Gobby's going to finish in 12th. But obviously he has been driving really slowly. It's like, yeah, in my opinion, it's a bit like a ticking time bomb. He is doing 2 minutes and 30 seconds, something like that. Oh, that's not quick. Even Alonso and the GP2 engine would be quicker. Nonetheless, Alessio Campos finishes it in 11th, and Gobby gets flagged in P13 then, with Victor Ivanov in 12th. And that's the race done. And a really hectic race. You can call that a hectic race, I'm pretty sure. Especially the end of it over there. Ragusa got himself in a good position, you know, with the undercut. I said it before. That's exactly the thing he needed to do. Oh man. And then that moment where they both went off track, just epic. And after that, Klopp just putting so much pressure on Ragusa's shoulders. And in my opinion, Ragusa snapped under that pressure. And Klopp took it again. And that's a really important step towards the ACE Championship. But there is yet one race to go. And that's going to be an amazing one, of course. One race to go. Interlagos for this round, of course. And what a race that is going to be. It's going to go down the wire all the way to the end. And the final race, the 14th round. And as I said, what would it be spectacular. If we had changing conditions over there, rain, whatever. I mean, today I already had a look, in fact, at the weather prediction for Interlagos, and it's basically raining, you know, quite a lot over there at the moment. I think this race is in 2 weeks' time. I don't know whether you can confirm it, Sam. Sorry. Yeah, maybe it is in 1 week time. I think it is in 2 weeks though. Maybe even 3 is what Sam is saying. So maybe someone on the... Okay, 3 weeks. Thank you very much, Sam. So it's 3 weeks then, and I am really looking forward to how this is going to unfold in 3 weeks time, and how I am going to be sitting here in 3 weeks time, maybe screaming Rens Klop's name, maybe screaming Ragusa's name, maybe screaming Hoyer's name. Who knows? Those are the 3 guys who are still really in the fight for this championship. And as I said, it's gonna go down the wire, down towards Interlagos, a beautiful track, but also those conditions can make it beautiful, and it's gonna be a hell of a race. I'm pretty sure. So that pretty much concludes it for this rather hectic race. I described it before as a hectic race, but we had a nice race, I should say. Rens Klop saying as well, that was one hell of a race, and that's pretty much it. I think there is some Italian banter going on as always. Lots of Italian drivers over here, of course. But nonetheless, I think I should call it an end over here. After the 45 lap race, it is Rens Klop who took the victory, and we'll be really happy with that, as I said before. Ragusa is second, then we saw what happened over there between those guys. Masciuli ends up in third, Mitchie Hoyer in fourth, Odes fifth, Paschalis George is sixth, Michael Francesconi in seventh, Ruud Heesterbeek in eighth, Guillermo Prieto in ninth, Timo Valkejärvi in 10th, Alessio Campos 11th, Victor Ivanov in 12th, Gobby in 13th. We've got a few retirements here. Murgodik, obviously, we saw that crash, retired in the end with suspended damage. Roberto Fernandez parked his car alongside the track. The Walt now, not entirely sure what happened to him. Nonetheless, so he must have pressed escape because he had another DNF. Ben Horio had suspension damage. Mikhail Antohovsky, of course. Shachi Pantelis, who we saw crashing in turn 12 on the opening lap. And D'Alessandro, who was, who got caught in the first sector as well. When in my opinion, took a bit too much speed into that section and hit the back of another car. But I think, as I said, it's pretty much it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I certainly have, and I'm really looking forward to the race in 3 weeks' time at Interlagos. A final thank you to Sam Jones, who was here, who did the cameras. I mean, a big thanks, and it's great to have you broadcasting these races. And I think that's pretty much it. That concludes it. See you next time. Have a nice evening. Have a nice day. Whatever. And I hope to see you tomorrow for both Pro and the World Championship around this very same track. Have a good night. Take care.
Bye.